Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining part number 66 of Islam in the Media, and we're looking at what non-Muslims have to say about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Arthur Glenn Leonard, in the book Islam, Her Moral and Spiritual Values, has this to say: "It was the genius of Muhammad, the spirit that he breathed into the Arabs, through the soul of Islam, that exalted them, that raised them out of the lethargy and low level of tribal stagnation, up to the high watermark of national unity and empire. It was in the sublimity of Muhammad's deism, the simplicity, the sobriety, and purity it inculcated the fidelity of its founder to his own tenets, that acted on their moral and intellectual fiber with all the magnetism of true inspiration." And then Bosworth Smith has this to say in his book Muhammad and Mohammedanism, published in London, 1874, on page 92, and I quote, "He was Caesar and Pope in one, but he was Pope without Pope's pretensions, Caesar without the legions of Caesar, without a standing army, without a bodyguard, without a palace, without a fixed revenue. If ever any man had the right to say that he ruled by the right divine, it was Muhammad, for he had all the power without its instruments and without its supports." D.G. Hogarth, in the book Arabia, has this to say: "Serious or trivial, his daily behavior has instituted a canon which millions observe to this day with conscious memory. No one, regarded by any section of the human race as perfect man, has ever been imitated so minutely." Then Karen Armstrong, in her book Islam, A Short History, has this to say: "Muhammad had in fact finally achieved victory by an ingenious policy of non-violence. The Quran adamantly opposes force and coercion in religious matters, and its vision, far from preaching exclusion and separation, is tolerant and inclusive." And Dr. Zweimer, in his book entitled The East and its Customs, says, "Undoubtedly, Muhammad is one of the greatest Muslim religious leaders." And then Edward Gibbon, in the book The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire in 1823, writes, "The good sense of Muhammad despised the pomp of royalty. The apostle of God submitted to the menial offices of family. He kindled the fire, he swept the floor, he milked the ewes, and mended with his own hands his shoes and his garments," and that in his book, The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.